I maxed out my Kroger coupon again and got a bunch of half-gallon jugs of milk, and I'm gonna go ahead and can them. The reason I can 2% milk is because the milk condenses during the process, so once it's canned and when you get it out, it's gonna taste a little bit more like whole milk. It doesn't change the taste too much. It does slightly, it becomes just a little bit richer. I personally don't drink milk anyway, but I do cook with my canned milk pretty often, especially if the price of milk is high and I don't want to have to go buy milk. I'll just use a jar of my canned milk. Now, since this is a Rebel method, there is no tested method to use. So you basically do this however you feel safe. The goal of canning is to heat your jars and the contents up to 240, 250 degrees for a specific period of time to effectively kill off all the heat resistant spores within the contents of that jar. Typically, people will usually bring their canner up to pressure and then shut it off. The pressure for my elevation is 10 pounds of pressure, but just for my own peace of mind, I'm going to actually process it at 15 pounds of pressure today, just to give myself that extra peace of mind that I have fully killed everything off that could possibly be within those jars. There's not a whole lot of prepping involved in this process. Really, you just need clean jars. Now that I have all of the jars filled with milk, which by the way, I filled it up to just a little bit over 1 inch of headspace, I'm gonna clean the rims. Now, typically I will clean my rims with white vinegar, but since milk curdles when it becomes more acidic, I'm gonna choose to only use a dry towel to clean the rims off. Now, since I'm using quart-sized jars, I'm gonna go ahead and run both of my canners because quart-sized jars are too large. I can't double stack. I already have 3 quarts of water in each canner and my rack down at the bottom. I wasn't able to fit everything in my canner, so I'm just gonna stick these quarts back in the refrigerator and I can process them later. And now that I've checked my lids to make sure everything is safe with them, I'm gonna go ahead and put the lids on and turn my burners on. I've got my fire on medium low and I'm going to let it come up to a boil and to a steam naturally. Once it starts steaming, I'm gonna let it vent for 10 minutes like I would any other time, and then I'll put my 15-pound weight on and let it come up to pressure. All right, we're just now bringing it to pressure. I'm not going to completely shut it off right away because I want it to be able to depressurize super slowly. So I'm going to do the same thing I usually do when I'm pressure canning. And instead of just shutting it off, I'm going to turn my burner all the way on the lowest setting and it's going to slowly start to depressurize. Just to clarify, I did not process for any specific amount of time. I brought it up to pressure and now I'm starting to depressurize it. Just as soon as I brought it up to pressure, I'm taking it back down. The needle has stopped moving, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn the burner all the way off and I'm gonna let it come down completely on its own. Once the top pops down, I'm going to let it rest. Then I'm gonna crack the lid, let it rest some more, and then we should be able to take the lid off and bring